So it it's no secret that like a lot of battle royales like PUBG, the really cartoony ones like PUBG, Fortnite, they're not really super realistic. Now, PUBG is obviously a lot more realistic than some battle royales like Fortnite or Valorant, but it's, to be honest, I feel like it's on the less realistic side of battle royales. So I'm going to go over some changes that could be used to make the game more realistic. And now, I don't think more realistic necessarily equals better because this is a video game, not a simulator, but there are definitely some changes that would make the game both more realistic and more fun. So I'm going to be going over those, mostly. The first major one, I would say, is grenade fuse times. So, the fuse time on a PUBG grenade, the frag, is 7 seconds, which, to be honest, is just way too long of a fuse. I think this would make it better because it would discourage people from, like, trying to cook their grenades, because I've seen way too many people who just died because they were trying to cook their grenades, but they forgot to let them go. And it's just, like, just keeps occurring. It's like a reoccurring problem. Well, that was a slight interruption. Wasn't expecting there to be anyone here, but let's keep going anyways. So, yeah, 7 seconds, it's way too long for a grenade fuse. It just encourages, like, people to cook their grenades way too long, especially since the actual British fragmentation grenades that the frag grenades are modeled after only have a 4.5 second fuse in real life. So, that's one thing. Another thing is how certain guns like sound. Especially, I'm talking about like suppressed guns. You already heard me complaining about that in the previous video, but I just thought I'd talk about it again. In real life, a suppressed firearm sounds more like a clap than a muffled zip, as they do in a lot of video games. Because, like, this is the suppressed. Yeah, it doesn't really sound like that. It sounds sharper. It sounds more like a clap than a zip. And another thing is, a lot of firearms don't have the correct module attachments. For example, I want to talk about the FAMAS first because I feel like the FAMAS is the one that kind of suffers the most from that. Now, the FAMAS was actually a really good gun before the update, before it got created, but the thing is, it got created and everything just went downhill from there. It kind of sucks now, to be honest, like, even though it's a crate gun. It's kind of worse than its normal counterparts. I totally fudged that jump. But, anyway, it's just not a good rifle anymore. It's not the type of thing that you'd want to be using. Firing rate is still fine, but it's way louder than it was before, which they had no reason to make it louder whatsoever. It should make the exact same sound as the M4, because it uses the exact same round. And they also removed the mag slot, which is also really stupid because the FAMAS G2, the new texture model that they used for the new update FAMAS, uses the exact same rounds as the M16. So it definitely should be able to equip extended mags. And it also has foregrip mounting points, which it doesn't in-game. That's another thing. Another thing is, I kind of wish some guns had more than one foregrip mounting point, so you can mount a laser sight and a foregrip on a weapon, since you can do that in real life. A lot of guns, like the M4, have rails on the side of the weapon as well, which, yeah, you can actually see it. You can see the Picatinny. They even modeled the Picatinny on the side. Yeah, like right there. They modeled it on the side, so like, why can't we put stuff there? And then there's another thing. It's with the hitboxes. the hitboxes are just really stupid in a lot of cases. Like, you just don't see hitboxes modeled accurately. Like, you'll hit a guy that you aimed a foot high and to the left. That's happened to me a ton. I'll be like, a guy will be hitting me even though he's aiming, like, I'll be here, and the guy will be aiming, like, here, and he'll be hitting me, and I'm like, what? Like, I once got shot by a guy who was aiming at the wrong side of a tree that I was behind. It was really stupid. And,
Awesome.
leading into that, kind of, is the damage models. So, thing is, for example, if you take the M4, has 5.56, fires 5.56. Now, because it's a fully automatic weapon in-game, and because they don't want to make it overpowered, they nerf the damage. So, the M4 actually does less damage than the 1911, despite the fact that the M4 is an assault rifle and the 1911 is a pistol. What they do is they nerf it to make fully automatic weapons less overpowered. There's another thing. The MG3, one of the best guns in the game, in real life fires the same round as the M24 sniper rifle, but they can't make it do the same damage as the M24 sniper rifle, because then there's no reason to use the M24. You could just put a scope on an MG3, and you'd have a full auto M24. But the devs don't want you doing that because they want there to still be a reason to use sniper rifles, so they nerf the damage. They did the exact same thing with the DP27. I'm going to call it the DP27. Everybody calls it the DP28. It's really called the DP27, so I'm going to call it the DP27. In real life, it uses the same round as the Mosin Nagant, but it doesn't do the same damage as the Mosin Nagant, because if you had an LMG that could two-shot, that just wouldn't be fun for anybody. So the damage models are a little bit inaccurate, especially since I don't get off asserting why a shot in the hand should do more damage than a shot in the stomach. To be honest, I feel like a simple way to fix that would to be do what like Escape from Tarkov does, to like actually model like organs and arteries inside the characters instead of just having sections that deal a damage preset based on what gun they got hit with. And also there will be like caliber and damage inconsistency between guns. Like the FAMAS does less damage than the M4, despite the fact that they both use the same round, and the FAMAS has a longer barrel, so therefore it shoots higher velocity. Now, you can argue this with the F1 FAMAS, since the F1 FAMAS used steel-cased ammunition, but you can't really argue it with the G2 FAMAS, which is currently in the game, because it uses the exact same ammunition as the M4. So it just doesn't make too much sense, to be honest. So there's like the ammo discrepancies. In addition to the fact that, oh, and I wanted to talk about the Deagle. The Desert Eagle. The Desert Eagle really needs to be talked about, because, like, it uses a, in the game it's modeled by using 45 ACP. The reason that it's modeled using 45 ACP is because they didn't want to add a new round that would be exclusive to one gun, which was 50 AE. They could have always just added, like, a 50 Beowulf version of the AR-15 to make another gun that used 50 AE, but they didn't. They decided that they were just going to have the Desert Eagle use 45 ACP, even though it uses 50 AE in real life. And the Desert Eagle does a pretty insane amount of damage, but to be honest, I think it's kind of justified. You might be surprised I said that, but I think the damage models on the Deagle are, like, completely justified. Like, I feel like it actually should be dealing that much damage, but at the same time, I feel like an M4 should be dealing more. but the M4 doesn't deal more. It deals less, even though it uses a, by all means, much more potent round. So, we've covered ammo discrepancies. We've covered unrealistic damage models. What else should we cover? Molotovs. There's nothing really wrong with Molotovs. I'm trying to think if there's any more throwables. What is that? And fix the textures too, apparently. Because I wholeheartedly thought that was awesome. But it was just the edge of a tree texture. Yeah, like, no matter what helmet that guy was using, I direct shot him in the face with an M16. In real life, you're not surviving that. So, like, I feel like armor just works in, like, really bizarre ways in this game. Like, it has damage reduction, and it's modeled as being part of your character. And, like, I just feel like they should do headshot modeling like in real life, where if you have a headshot that penetrates the helmet, you just die no matter what. Or that goes underneath the armor plate. Because that's what happens in real life. Sure, it would be stupid, but nobody actually bothers to aim for headshots unless they're using a sniper rifle, which nobody uses sniper rifles in this game. So, wouldn't be too busted. And in addition, the assault rifle calibers probably need some rework. Like, real life, you get hit center of mass by, like, literally anything that shoots 5.56 or 7.62 by 39, which is like AR-15 or AK calibers. You're down. You get hit center of mass, you're down. But in this game, you can take like 4 center of mass shots, no problem. Anyway, that's really all I've got. That's all my griping. Krafton probably is not going to listen, but just felt like I'd make a video because I needed something to make a video about. Bye guys, I'll see you later.